life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, the health futures lose by.
What's up, everybody? This is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson, and yes, I am here live. This is Diet Free Life, and we are going to have a really good conversation. And I'm going to share with you information that 100% can be helpful for everybody. Now, if you're catching this live or on the replay, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, let me know where you're coming from. Because what we're going to talk about today is something that I hope every person becomes aware of. Like every person. And I'm saying that because so many people are on meds. So many people are going to the hospital and they never leave. Many people are in a situation where they're not optimizing health and we're losing them too soon. And as you mature in life, those of you who are older, and I'm saying maybe 30 plus, you start realizing that health is important. And so I want to ask you a question, and I want you to really stay with me on this question. And if you have kids and they're not here and you're catching this replay or the live, I want you to ask them this question. And anybody that you love or care about, I want you to ask them the same question. And I want to preface it by saying, imagine that you are doing almost everything right. And what I mean by that, you exercise, you're mindful of your nutrition, right? So you think about nutrition, you look great. Okay, now this is not everybody, but use your imagination with me. You have everything going for you. Because I see them all the time, I meet them all the time, right? I've trained many celebrities. I've trained and coached many professional athletes, everyday people that are amazing. And they look pretty good. Now, if I'm posing this for people who look good, I'm also speaking to everybody else. Because what I'm going to share with you today is about this thing called low-grade chronic inflammation. Now, you could look like a bodybuilder. You could be a fitness expert. You could be the one that knows a whole bunch about a lot of things around nutrition and still be experiencing low-grade chronic inflammation. Like I really want to just pause there because there's no rush. Because I want you to get what I'm sharing today. Because it affects a lot of people. And when you live to be 50 years of age, that's long enough where I have seen many people who look the part but die suddenly. Get gout, experience lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis comes out of nowhere, blood pressures. What? I work out all the time. And the list goes on and on and on. All of these things that I'm referring to are tied to this thing called chronic inflammation. and we preface it by saying low grade. So I have a chart up, and just take a real close look at that, because everything on the screen is fueled by low grade chronic inflammation. So whether it's arthritis, gout, maybe some skin problems, right? Could be eczema, acne. Maybe you're not sleeping that well. People who are a little more older, mature, Parkinson's, dementia, MS. Maybe you have little kids, autism, ADHD, and the list goes on and on. Okay. So my point is that most people don't know what low-grade chronic inflammation is. Some of you guys are really smart people, and you don't know. If I was in a room filled with 100, let's say nurses, and with those nurses, I asked them in front of everybody, explain to me what low-grade chronic inflammation is. Now, maybe you know a lot about health and nutrition, and you're catching me on this live. Can you explain what that is? Can you explain what low-grade chronic inflammation is? That's the question. And what you're going to learn, if you went to your doctor, you say, hey, doc, explain, can you tell me what low-grade chronic inflammation is? I saw this guy, Robert Ferguson, or I know him, he's a nutritionist, and he was talking about low-grade chronic inflammation. And he was talking about how important it was to know and understand. And, maybe that's my problem, doc. Maybe that's why my blood pressure is all over the place. The first step, in my opinion, is you got to know what it is. And most people, to include personal trainers, some of you guys go to personal trainers, you believe in your trainer, my trainer's great, my trainer's awesome, right? And they don't even know what it is. They don't. And if you ever watch me present, I call it is what it is. They do not know. The average registered dietitian can't explain it. But yet it's impacting almost everybody that we all know. Now, I'm thankful that I know, and that's why we're doing this video, this live, because I'm going to share with you what it is. And some of you will go to your trainer, you go to your nutritionist, you go to your health coach. Hey, what is chronic low-grade inflammation? And they'll give you some half-done answer. Because if they know, they will know that it ties in to all of these conditions. Lupus, Hashimoto's, gout, IBD, weight gain, fatty liver, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, dry eye, irritable bowel syndrome, autoimmune diseases like lupus and gout, cancer, various cancers. And the list goes on and on and on. So at this point, you're like, Robert, okay, well, just tell us. Shit, what is it? Okay. So chronic low-grade inflammation is something that is happening on a cellular level, and you can't smell it. You can't see it. There's no sound. And when you have it long enough, it gets expressed into a condition. So what's the condition? Gout, lupus. Think about someone who has lupus or gout. One day, everything was going okay. Boom, flare up. Now they got it. Think about someone who's got high blood pressure. Man, doc, I was just here 6 months ago. I was good. Now you're telling me my blood pressure is elevated? Yeah, that's what we're telling you. It's elevated. Well, what's that mean? And instead of addressing what caused the high blood pressure, a Band-Aid is when you go on a medication. Very interesting when you think about it. And if you think about it long enough, you'll come to the same conclusion that where I'm at, where when low-grade chronic inflammation is never addressed, it fuels the healthcare system, which is nearly a $5 trillion a year business. If all of us were healthy and no one had low-grade chronic inflammation, there would be no gout or lupus or high blood pressure, insulin resistance. There'd be none. And it would crumble. The pharmaceutical industry would be out of business. Hospitals would be struggling. Doctors wouldn't make much money. So a lot of this is designed for you to remain ignorant, meaning unaware, not informed. Because if you go and Google and do some research and you type in low-grade chronic inflammation, you start to find out and realize that it's inflammation that's driving most of the health conditions. And just because, let's say someone's a nurse, they put on the title, I'm a nurse. Okay, what does that mean? You know how many clients I've coached who are nurses? How many doctors I've coached as my client who are doctors? How many health coaches I've coached? Personal trainers I've coached? Just because you have a title that fits into the wellness world doesn't mean you know. And that's why we created the Omega Balance Coach, a balancing coach certification. Because Omegas, that is the now and the future. And helping people bring their Omega 6 and 3 into balance. Making sure people are getting an adequate amount of Omega 3. And showing people how to do it through food alone, as well as how you can supplement. Because if you do it through food alone, you are going to have to eat a lot of fish. A lot. Like every day. And many days you're eating it twice in multiple meals. That's how you're going to do it. Now, not everybody wants to eat that much fish. And if you don't want to eat that much fish, you got to supplement. So you need a real quality supplement. And at this moment in time, as I recorded there's only one. And it's not just omega-3s. It's a combination of omega-3s and polyphenols. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in Dr. Simopoulos. But let me show you something. Let me be the one. Okay. I'm going to show you the results of one of my clients. Okay. This is Debbie. And Debbie is absolutely amazing. Debbie is in her 60s. When I first started coaching her, she was 253 pounds. She got down to 140 pounds. Like with just food, no supplements, just food. But even then, she had some challenges with blood clots. So she was taking medications for that. High blood pressure. She was taking medications for that. Rheumatoid arthritis. She's taking medications for that. Restless leg syndrome. You don't hear people talk about this much, but a lot of people have it. She is taking medications for that. And she is taking Tylenol because of the arthritis, the discomfort. Now, in my opinion, and that of many solid studies and other professionals, she was taking meds to act as a Band-Aid because they weren't doing anything to improve the low grade chronic inflammation that she was experiencing. Okay. So then I introduced her to the balance test. Now, this is her a later test because you see green. Now, these 6 boxes you see on the screen, all of those were red. And then she started taking this product called the balance oil, which is the polyphenols with the omega-3s. And the goal was to get to where we are now, right? So when she was in the red, she was like 30 or 29 to 1, I believe, which is not good. Anything over 3, right? And she was 29 to 1 is not good. Now she's 2.5 to 1. She's in balance. And in the bottom left, that's her omega-3 index. Okay. She was very low in the beginning and it was red. Now she's in balance. Now, what does this mean? Because most people don't know what any of this means, right? It's new to them, even though globally it's known all over the world. You want to be in balance. And 99.8% of everybody that I've tested in over a year are not in they're not balanced. The highest I've seen to date is 102 to 1. I've seen a lot of 50 to 1s, 40s to 1s, 30 to 1s, 20s to 1s. All of those are red in the danger. So you wouldn't see green boxes. This is what we know to be true. And this marker, this balance ratio, is a highlight of what inflammation is looking like in your body. So you and many of your friends are living with low-grade chronic inflammation and you don't even know it. So my big question is, imagine those of you who have kidney failure, those of you who are living with autoimmune disease, and the list goes on and on. Imagine if you knew what I'm sharing with you years ago. You probably wouldn't have kidney failure. You probably wouldn't have high blood pressure. You probably wouldn't have MS. And I know that's a tough one to swallow because nobody wants to feel like they caused these diseases to happen to them. But here's the reality. We can now do something about it. You can do something about it. You can first find out what your balance is. And then we give you the protocol. Now, a big part of my share today is we need coaches. So if you are a nurse, then let's get you certified to become a omega balancing coach. Let's give you something unique, something that stands out above everything else, everybody else is talking. Let's put you in a position where you actually can go to the cause instead of being part of people chasing the effects, which means Band-Aids. So many people could be better off if they knew about omega-6 to 3 balance. And those of you who don't know and don't do anything about it, God bless you. Because if you take the time and look into it, you're going to realize that what I'm sharing is as real as it ever will ever get when it comes to health. Like when I share this with people and they don't like jump on board, I go, God bless them, Lord. Because it's either ego or ignorance. Well, it's not ignorance if they give me a chance to share with them. So then it has to be ego. Because this is one of the most important markers anybody can find out. Because inflammation is what is fueling and driving all of these health concerns that people have. Now, I don't want you to take my word for it. So I'm going to play a short video of the one and only Dr. Artemis Samopoulos. She is the #1 respected, most published, peer-reviewed, published endocrinologist physician in the world. And she talks about the importance of omega-6 and omega-3 ratio, and you don't even know it. Think about that part. Like, I would love to go to a seminar and someone said, you don't even know this, Robert. I go, what? What I don't know? And they told me what I'm sharing with you. I go, oh, damn. Well, I'm glad I know now because that's how I would look at it. because I'm humble about it. You got personal trainers, they don't know. Ignorance. It wasn't part of their training. It's like they have their head like this stuck. And this is one of the most important markers for genuine health that everybody could know. And some of you nurses are like, oh, well, I heard about it. I think I know it. You don't know nothing about it. Trust me. It's time to get yourself educated. It's sad. These people like this blow my mind. And I can talk this way to them because I'm in that world. One practitioner to another. I know what you don't know. And if someone came to me 3 years ago sharing what I know, I would have been a little embarrassed myself. So I'm happy that I'm not one of those people with my head stuck in the dirt, walking around with this ignorant and don't know that they're overlooking one of the most important things you could teach people to help them optimize health. And for those of you who don't know it, this is why you need to know it. Wake up. And maybe I'm the wrong messenger for you, but hopefully one day you will hear the truth and you can do something about it. It's unbelievable. And for those who really want to help people and really optimize, that's why we have this certification available. Now, Debbie, who I was telling you about, she's off all of those meds and she's in balance. All right. Let's listen to Dr. Simopoulos. She kind of breaks it down. I'm going to stay here with you. And it's a very short video. And she talks about the importance of omega-6 to omega-3.
Is the composition of the fat, the essential fatty acids, omega-6 and omega-3. And it's really frightening to think that after all the research funded with taxpayers' money, today, the latest dietary guidelines for Americans do not mention the importance of the ratio of omega-6, omega-3, or the concept of a balance. It's not a matter that you have low amounts of omega-3s. It's the fact that a high amount of omega-6 and a low amount of omega-3, as it is in Western diets today, they influence the function of every cell membrane in the body. And the cell membranes consist of both omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. And it is important that they are balanced.
Well, there you go. So if you didn't take my word for it, now what are you going to do? Like, I mean, you know what? Like one of the really, like something really funny happened to me and I'm almost done. Actually, this is funny, but it's also kind of sad. So I was talking to one of my clients today and she was telling me how she went to her doctor and her doctor said, you got to start eating more fish. You know, you want to get your omegas. And then she kept talking. And I was listening to her and she goes, yeah, you know, you got to mix it up, you know, get some salmon, you know, get some trout, you know, mix it up, you know, you got to get your omega-6, 3s, you know, get them all in. And when she finally stopped, I was like, so what do you mean get your omegas? She goes, well, I mean, that's what my doctor said. I said, well, that's not the way it works. She's talking about omega-3s that you can get from fish. And yes, that's going to be very helpful for a whole bunch of reasons. So in her mind, she's thinking what's causing your blood pressure to be elevated is the fact that you're maybe eating too much saturated fat. You're eating too much steak. Well, I don't think it's always what we're eating. I think it's oftentimes or more frequently what we're not getting. So if you're eating fish and you're getting omega-3s, then when you're not eating fish, you're not getting omega-3s. You're getting saturated fats. But the saturated fat's not the problem. The problem is what you're not getting. And then the other part is the balance, as Dr. Simopoulos mentioned. There is a balance. So we want to be in balance. And you want to get a test. Otherwise, you're just guessing. And nobody wants to guess. And so everything has been made very affordable for people. So I just want to encourage you to hear me and to act on it and not be one of those people who do nothing until something shows up, right? So when a person has a gout flare up, at that very moment, they wish they could have done something to avoid that discomfort, that pain. But then the pain goes away, and then they forget, and they go back to eating their old ways, and until it flares up again. So not everybody is proactive or thinking about how they want tomorrow to be. Many people are just caught up in right now, and they don't care. I'm not here to talk to the people who don't care. I'm here to share information for the people who do care. So we have this balance. You need to know where you are. And for you health practitioners, nurses, doctors, personal trainers, what is wrong with you? If you do not take action on the importance of this, in my opinion, you're not legit. You're not. Because it's that important. That's like saying that you are a doctor and you never check blood pressure. I would see a problem with that. Let's say you're a doctor and you never have your clients do their hemoglobin A1C. I would have a problem with that. Let's say that you're a dentist and you encourage your patients not to brush their teeth. Like none of that adds up. And when you look at the reality that the number one driver for most health conditions people have, from blood pressure, fibromyalgia, the list goes on and on. It's low-grade chronic inflammation that is the precursor. So if you don't address that or teach your clients to look at that, that is a disservice. There's no other way around it. And if someone disagrees with me, please reach out. Let's do it live. We can do a little debate, go back and forth. I would love that. Okay? All right. Anyway, I got to go. All right. So anyway, there are links provided. If you have more questions, reach out to me. Okay. And I will reach back. And if you want to learn more about our certification course, then it's available. So check it out. And if you want to learn about any other programs that we have or options, just reach out to me. You can contact me through my link tree, and I look forward to that. Other than that, remember, low-grade chronic inflammation is a problem. We need more people that can educate people, and we need more people to become informed so they can help themselves. It is a big part of why so many of you are challenged with getting yourself in better health. Okay, so now you know, and there's no more guessing. I'm Robert Ferguson. I want to say thank you. And until the next one, I'm going to say peace out.
Diet is a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, it helps